In this problem, we're going to find the domain and range of a quadratic function. First thing we need to look at is the graph of a typical quadratic. So if they open upwards, you have arrows pointed upwards and moving to the side. So right, this U is getting larger both from left to right and vertically. And then you have, if it's opening down, the same thing, but the arrow's pointed downwards. So when we're talking domain, if you remember that the domain is all the x values which can be input into the function, so we're talking left to right. If you notice the graph of this quadratic, it's going to continue to expand out toward positive infinity to the right and toward negative infinity to the left. So the domain of any polynomial, and in this case a quadratic, which is a polynomial, is negative infinity to infinity. And that's always going to be the case. There's nothing that you can't plug into this function. Now the range is going to be different. If you notice that there is on each quadratic, whether it's opening up or opening down, there's going to be what's called a vertex. So the vertex for a parabola that's opening upwards is going to be the minimum, and for a parabola that's opening downwards, it will be the maximum. We can look at the leading coefficient here on our equation, it's -2, and determine that we have this scenario where the quadratic is opening downwards. So what we want to do is we want to find the vertex of the function, but we want to find the y value of the vertex, because we know that the range values are all the y values output by the function. So we're looking for the y value of the vertex. If you remember the vertex formula, is negative b over 2a f of negative b over 2a. So I'm going to take negative b over 2a, and that will find me the x value. But remember, I'm not worried about the x value. I actually want to find the y value. But we have to find that first. So I'm going to say negative b, which b is 16. So that's negative 16 over 2 times a, which is -2. Negative 16 divided by -4 is 4. So my x value is 4. I need to find the y value, so I take the x value and I plug it into the function. That would give me -2, 4 squared, plus 16 times 4, minus 31. If I go ahead and evaluate that, I get 16, so it's -2 times 16, plus 64 minus 31. So I get -32 plus 64 minus 31, which is 1. So my y value is 1, meaning my range then is going to be, remember this is going to be a max because we're talking about a downward facing quadratic. My range is going to be from negative infinity to 1, and we can equal 1 because that's the vertex. So that is the domain and range for this quadratic function.